I have the hardcover, especially for girls edition of this book. So fancy! I don't think the series has an especially for boys edition, though.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
The school play is starting soon, and Nikki is nervous. She hasn't been able to handle the press ever since she was falsely accused of killing her boyfriend, Dan. Don't worry, Nikki, that happened in a totally different series, so it doesn't count. Nikki's boyfriend, Tim, doesn't understand why Nikki's so nervous, because he loves being in the play and promoting it. So, as usual, we're going to turn this into a big deal and have a lot of drama over it. Kim and Jeremy are officially dating now, and their first date goes well. Kind of? Kim sits around doing nothing while Jeremy sets stuff up. He starts grumbling to himself about how he's doing all the work and she's useless. But he bought her really expensive food, so she rates it as A++. Meanwhile, Brittany realizes her status as the scheming villain of the series is in jeopardy after the failure that was the last book. So she decides to ruin Nikki's life and relationship just 'cause she can. See, one of the actresses named Lara Bennett has an obvious crush on Tim, so Brittany interviews the two of them together. She writes a newspaper article that makes Tim and Lara look like the hottest new couple in town, while also finding time to make Nikki look like a nervous train wreck. Scheming villain status reinstated. Yep, the only thing Brittany needs now is a way to pay the country club dues. So she gets a job as a waitress at a trashy dive by the docks where her weird bosses yell at her all the time. Scheming villain status revoked. The kids at school gossip about Brittany's article, and Nikki complains she hasn't felt so jumpy since Dawn Taylor died. Your boyfriend's name was Dan, Nikki. You got it right earlier in the book. Continuity! Nikki is upset to hear that Tim and Lara are having a private rehearsal together. I'm sure it's not romantic because she's playing his mother in the play, but still! Having private rehearsals with Lara won't dispel the rumors that Tim is dating her. Tim and Nikki get into a fight over the article because he doesn't see what's wrong with it. He thought it was great. They had a picture of him and he looked so hot. He says Nikki's just trying to cover for the fact that her performances have been garbage recently, and if she doesn't improve soon, the play's going to bomb. But hey, no pressure or anything. Geez, Tim, way to make things worse. Tim tries to cheer Nikki up by saying stage fright isn't the end of the world. Hey, Lara got over her problem with nerves, and now she's a great actress. And oh no, Tim, bad move. You don't compliment the interloper girl right in front of your girlfriend. So Tim fails at being a boyfriend today. Nikki runs away crying, and yes, the Nikki that cries all the time is back. Kim and Jeremy are like bad guys on a fighting show. They have combined her popularity and his wealth to become a super couple that rules the school with an iron fist. Everyone stops and stares when they're together. Jeremy's feeling pretty on top of the world until his car breaks down. Jeremy's dad refuses to pay to have it fixed, so now he's got no car, right when Kim is demanding to be taken out to parties every night. Jeremy starts grumbling that girlfriends are expensive, and he feels the urge to stick out his tongue at her. Our super couple, everyone. Brittany gives Lara a makeover and gives her some tips on how to steal Tim away from Nikki, because yeah, that worked so well for Brittany when she tried it in book 1. Jeremy enters a high-stakes poker game. Things go badly, and he winds up in debt to some preppy guys. The leader says he'll forgive Jeremy's debt if Jeremy sets him up on a date with Kim. Jeremy says no way, and the guys move to beat him up. Jeremy escapes with a ripped shirt and bruised cheek. He decides the only way to get money is if he gets a job. By total coincidence, he works at the same restaurant where Brittany's working. Oh wow, what a coincidence! I totally didn't see that coming. Brittany and Jeremy both try to hide from each other at work, and it's cute. I also find it cute that Jeremy had no idea a dishwasher was a job, not a machine. Brittany gives Lara a makeover and encourages her to make a move on Tim. So when Tim says he and Nikki are going to get food after dress rehearsal, Lara pressures Tim into inviting her along. Nikki can't believe he's letting another girl cut in on their date, so she tells Tim that she wants to be alone with him, and no, just kidding, that would make sense. Instead, Nikki drops out of the date and tells Tim to go alone with Lara. And presumably, Nikki goes home to cry over how her boyfriend's dating someone else, even though she literally told him to do so. So Nikki fails at being a girlfriend today, and that's why Tim and Nikki make such a good couple. They're both equally bad at relationships. Nikki gives an awful performance on opening night, and the newspaper critic writes a harsh review that blames her for ruining the play. What a jerk! He probably does mean book reviews on YouTube. Jeremy and Brittany literally run into each other at work, and they're forced to admit to each other that they're broke. There was a cute moment when they both made silly excuses twice, and why do I want them to become a couple now? They would be a disaster if they dated. He's never gonna break up with Kim to date her best friend, but they were cute that one time, so they must start dating. That is a soap opera rule. Anyway, Kim decides to spy on Jeremy, and she sees him with Brittany. She thinks they're secretly dating, and the truth comes out when she confronts them. She's kind of mad to learn Jeremy was lying to her, but she's impressed that he got beat up defending her honor. She loans him some money, and he quits the job immediately. Nikki does better at the second performance of the play, and then they have the cast party, where we interrupt this book for a preview of the next book. Samantha is sad and lonely, so she goes to get ice cream. There she meets a handsome college guy and flirts with him. And guess what? He's gonna be her full-time substitute teacher! He practically runs away when he learns he was hitting on a junior in high school, but it's too late. She's already got her sights set on him. Back to the story. Nikki and Tim have a minor argument. He's upset that she doesn't trust him, and that she thinks he's egotistical. Nikki cries in the bathroom, and when she sees Tim put his arm around Laura's shoulders, Nikki jumps in her car and drives off, crying. The end. Post-book follow-up. This author is constantly skipping around the 3 storylines, rarely staying with one story for more than 5 pages. That's a lot like a soap opera, and it keeps the story moving. The problem is that the author often starts up a scene, skips to another one, then forgets to come back to the first scene. So we only get half of Jeremy and Kim's first date. We get the start of Laura's makeover, and the start of the play. We don't actually see the play itself, which seems kind of odd considering how much it got built up. What we see is right before the play, when Brittany goes backstage to wish all the actors good luck because she knows they'd appreciate it. That was uncharacteristically nice of her. Immediately after that paragraph, she reverts back to the scheming villain, so enjoy the brief glimpse of nice Brittany. I wish the series would decide if Brittany's supposed to be a villain or a hero, because in Nikki's storyline, she's a villain to Nikki, like the first 2 books. But with the waitress storyline, she's supposed to be the sympathetic girl you feel bad for, like the last 2 books. Am I supposed to like her or hate her? Or is it that I'm supposed to hate her, but she's so devious and entertaining I secretly like her? Is that what they're going for? The storyline with Jeremy and Kim kept my interest, although really they're both snobs who semi-openly dislike each other. I don't see their relationship going anywhere unless one of them, or both of them, loosen up. But Jeremy worked as a main character, and it was a change of pace to see him as something other than a jerky villain. I kinda like the guy now, although I'm sure he'll go back to being unlikable soon enough. Nikki's storyline was my least favorite. She and Tim make avoidable mistakes and they amplify them into major problems. It was a lot like Book 2, where she cried over every new development and they refused to talk to each other like normal people. I'm not looking forward to seeing the story continue in the next book, because it's going to continue because they haven't officially broken up yet, so we're gonna recycle the drama. Overall, I'd say this was a good book. The villains stole the show today, and they carried things well. This works as a soap opera in book form, which is what I expect and like from the series, you know? I prefer it when the series does its own thing instead of blatantly ripping off Sweet Valley High. I give River Heights number 5, Between the Lines, an 8 out of 10.